Yo, welcome to Legacy Voyage. This will be the second episode. This is Dean Wata, and I'll be speaking more about my entrepreneurial journey and any updates I've had. So, actually, over this past week, I've done quite a bit. I hopped on a call with Moananui Haretuku, is his name. He's a Polynesian dude who started a private equity firm. I don't know where he's from, but I was able to reach out to him through LinkedIn, and then I scheduled a call with him and his team, and it was actually perfect timing because right now they're doing an e-commerce store where, from what I understand, the concept is that an investor comes to the ecom store. I think it's called Mana Ecom. But the investor comes, puts the money up front, and then Mana Ecom, they find the products to sell, market the products on Amazon, and then sell it, and then get a percentage of the sales, and then give the rest to the investor. But that's how I understand it. I'll definitely learn more as we continue on. But the private equity firm is called True Wealth Capital, and it's not a huge firm, but I think it'll be interesting to go in, learn as much as possible, and then yeah, it's all unpaid, and I'm starting that internship right now actually, which is kind of a lot, balancing that with school, with having a social life and Coach V also. But I think I can do it, honestly. And I think I'll learn a lot. But we'll see if I can handle that in these next couple weeks to come. Wish me luck. But a person who I met, who is, I believe she's the chief of operations is her title, but she's helping out with Mana Ecom. Her name is Deanna Kinsey is her full name, but she goes by D, and I'm basically working under her, getting tasks done with her. I'm looking and learning more about HubSpot. I think HubSpot is a super interesting. It's called a CRM, which is something that it's pretty basic for people who are in the professional and executive world, but for me, I mean, I'd never really used it, and I think it'll be super interesting to explore it and learn more about it. But HubSpot, I'm hoping to use our CRMs in other companies, and hopefully with Coach V too. That'll be super awesome. But side note with that, I also got a call from Alex Snykov is his name. He runs a private equity firm called American Associates, which is also pretty small. I'm pretty sure it's just him, but that's a pretty small one, and I'm planning to. I want to intern it for him next quarter. So for spring quarter, and get academic credit for it. And at Northwestern, the way academic credit works for an internship is it's called Chicago Field Studies. So I'll meet with an advisor over that in on Monday in about like 8 to 9 days, something like that. But I'll meet with them, talk over how I can potentially get credit, because that's the only thing holding me back from starting the internship right now. Because I hopped on a call with him, and he was a super nice dude, and he was pretty much excited, and he was pretty pumped for me to come in and learn as much as possible. And I think that's how he got his start too, is from older people taking him in and teaching him what they know. And I think that's how he sees me. But I can't wait to go in there and learn as much as possible. Another thing that happened this week is I took an econ midterm. I'm feeling pretty good about that. We'll see how. Man, I'll tell you, handling school, balancing School with all of this is rough. Like, people really, looking back at this, I hope I'll understand it, but this is tough out here. With having a social life, it's a grind for sure. But I think it's for the best, and for me to better myself and my time management, just do a lot. Um, yeah, I think I also met with we went over some HubSpot things, and I learned how to import a CSV file from Google Sheets. That's a pretty handy skill, I guess. That'll be pretty helpful down the road for sure. I think honestly, this HubSpot stuff is gonna help out a lot later down the road, and I think it's awesome. Another call, another networking call. Man, guys, gotta hop on the networking grind. It's I really should do. Actually, I'll talk more about it after I'm done with this update. But I met with this guy called David Tafuna. He's a Tongan grad he graduated from Kellogg. He's the first Tongan grad from Kellogg. And he basically went through investment banking into into starting his own company, something like that. We went to investment banking into like some type of consulting or private equity, something like that. But then after that, he started his own company, and then he was the CFO of that company, and then grew that. He was CFO and founder, grew that. That was bought out for like 10 mil or something crazy like that. So he got bank. So man's has bank. But when I first met him, one of the important things that he taught me was to help others. Cause at that point, when he has that much money, there's really no point in just keeping it all to yourself. And what he was decided to do after that was go help out another company called Wolfgramm Capital, that's a new opportunity that I'm trying to seek over the summer. And I gave him a call, asked him, I talked about how I'm looking into private equity now, and he told me straight up, man, investment banking. So let me break this down. Private equity, there's really only two ways to go into it. It's either consulting or investment banking. And the way he thought I was thinking about was going through investment banking. And what investment banking is, I don't fully understand it, but here's what I know. I know they make bank, but they work crazy hours, and those hours are intense. And honestly, I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to go and what it sounded like was working to live or living to work, and that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build something, man. I'm trying to get out there and do my own thing. And I didn't tell him this. Maybe I should have, maybe I shouldn't have, but I kind of want to go into private equity in a different route, a more untraditional route. The way Alex Hormozy and Mo, the guy I'm interning with right now, the way they did it was they started their own company. They built that, learned everything they could around the business, around operating a business, running it, leading people, sales, marketing, all the business things. And then they slowly acquisition, I guess. I'll definitely I gotta learn more about this. But they eventually just started their own private equity firm. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to start my own business, learn everything I can from that, network with all the people I can possibly network with, and then start my own private equity firm. I think what would be super interesting is if I could possibly work with one of these big guys like Alex Hormozy, Anik Singal. I'll talk about him more in the future. Anik Singal, Russell Brunson, with any of these fools, and just learn as much as possible. But I think in order to do that, I'm going to have to, first of all, build up a solid resume. Second of all, learn as much as possible. Third of all, just work. I'm I'm a grinder, and I love. The thing is, I love doing this stuff, and I love learning. I love making money, and then using that money for projects. Like in the future, when I have more money to finance of this podcast, it's gonna be so much better. You're gonna hear sound effects, music, intro, outro. I'll start monetizing it. It'll be amazing. But as of right now, it's for me in a room with my Mac open on a voice memos. So it's free, but it's not the best quality, and it's not the type of product that I would sell in the future. But I think it's definitely really awesome to have this right now. To record my journey and hear it out loud is pretty cool, and I'm definitely gonna continue this in the future. Um, yeah, I think I gotta backtrack to when I was talking about David Tafuna. So when I hopped on the call, we were just talking, and then he extended a summer internship opportunity. He said it would definitely be unpaid, but I should still be looking out for more internships, and as a last resort, or I would go over there. But honestly, I think I would want to go over there because they would, honestly, it's like family, and I think also meeting the other Wolfgrams who run the company would be super sick. And then big update. This happened today, but it's like it's almost 4 a.m. right now on Sunday. But this happened yesterday on Saturday. I was listening to a podcast by Anik Singal. It was about a SaaS founder company. SaaS is software as a service, which is a super competitive market. So software as a service is basically any software that you sell. So like Netflix would be SaaS, ClickFunnels, Google Drive, Canva. SaaS is a super competitive market, and it's also super lucrative. So you can make a whole bunch of cash because when you take on a new client or a new customer, it costs basically zero to add them, which is awesome. So I was listening to this podcast, and he interviewed the founder of this funnel builder software company called System.io. It's SISTME.io. And I was looking at this. I was hearing the dude on the podcast, and it seems pretty legit. Like, this actually seems pretty awesome. Because it basically has all the features of ClickFunnels. I'm sure ClickFunnels might have more, but I'm not really sure about that. But I know System.io is pretty similar to ClickFunnels. But the only difference, or the main difference that I'm seeing, is the price. Because ClickFunnels is pretty dang expensive. I'm going to look at the prices right now. ClickFunnel pricing, the very basic model, annually it's $127 a month. Let's see what's that in years. 127 times 12. That's $1,500 a month for the basic plan. And then their most expensive annual plan would be $2,500. That's so much money. Man, maybe yeah, well, as of right now, that's a lot of money to me in my current state. I already know future me's hearing me say this and be like, bro, 2,500, that's literally nothing. That's literally a 1 minute's worth of cash. But bro, I'm a freshman right now. I'm broke. Take pity on me, I swear. But System.io is super. They have a free plan, They literally have a free plan that allows 2,000 contacts, unlimited emails, 3 sales funnels. It's just amazing. And you could literally upload an entire course, which is amazing. I think I have to look into this system.io. I'm definitely going to start using this. Yeah, I got to start developing this for Coach V. I actually haven't been focusing on his stuff too much. I'm honestly just waiting for him to send me a video. Because I assign him tasks to do, and then he sends back those tasks. So I sent him a video that he has to record for the lead magnet that I'm making him. I'll talk more about that in a future episode. But I asked him to make the video. I'm just waiting for that. And then I'm working on creating his email follow-up. But I think that's like a whole nother... I think it'll be easier if I just send him the whole thing and have him do it, because having me as a middleman is super inefficient. I know it probably doesn't make sense to other people right now, but I know I'm hearing this, me from the future, and he's like, yep, I completely understand. Yeah, so that's my life update so far. I already knew I was going to talk about something, but I forgot. I think what I'll talk about right now, is networking calls. Let me teach you fools, especially the college fools, because y'all should be networking the most. Honestly, it's so important to network. But step by step, how to network. Here we go. Should I do it right now? Yeah, I'll do it right now. And then I'll do a future episode. This will just be what's on my mind right now. How to Network 101 by Dean Wata. Here we go. Step number 1. You create yourself a LinkedIn. It could be super simple. It does not matter. I think the way I started my LinkedIn was literally Dean Wata. I just put CS student at Northwestern, blah, blah, blah. Fill out all the stuff you need from that. If you have a resume, I'll talk about how to write a resume in the future. But if you do already have a resume, put everything on your resume onto LinkedIn. Just fill LinkedIn out. Even if you don't have anything filled out, which is how I started, how it usually is, make sure in your description you talk about something that you identify with. For me, that was my Tongan and Polynesian identity. It was also talked a bit about Evans Scholarship, entrepreneurship, that type of stuff. But talk about an identity that you hold. I was talking about Northwestern. Make sure you identify identities that you can connect with others through. Let me rephrase that, because that was kind of choppy. Make sure you list, let's say 3 to 5 identities that you identify with, that you can reach out to others and connect with. So, for example, me, number 1, Polynesian Tongan. That's number 1. Number 2, I could go with Evans Scholarship, my scholarship that I have for school. Number 3, let's go with Northwestern. Northwestern's huge. I go with Northwestern, any alumni that graduated from here, professors, past students. That's Northwestern. What else could I go with? I could go with rugby. I'm a rugby player. I love some rugby. Number 5. Yeah, just make sure you identify those identities, and then write about those in your bio, in your description. Make sure you have it in somewhere in your profile. After you have those identities, what you're gonna want to do is you go to the LinkedIn search function and you search up whoever in the world you can and connect with. I think the way I started was I searched up typical Tongan last names. So all the last names that I knew, for example, Tafuna is my cousin's last name, so I just did that. I did a Duivai last name, Wolfgramm, Mele, Wolf, Tongan last names and first names, and I just connected with as many people as possible. And then through that, I started getting connections that I would possibly be interested with. So as I built up my Tongan Polynesian network of professionals, I easily got suggested other profiles that were exactly what I would want to connect with, and it's actually perfect. And the way you connect with them is you click connect, and you write a little invitation saying, like, for me it was like, Malolele, I'm a Tongan at Northwestern studying computer science. I'd love to hop on a call with you and learn more about what you do. Send. Or it would be, hey, I'm always looking to connect with successful Polynesians. If you ever have the time, I'd love to hop on a call and learn more about what you do. Send. These are the goals of these is to connect, and then after you connect, make sure you send a message or you try to hop on a call. You do that push to make the connection more valuable. Because the mistake that I did, at the beginning, I was really good about connecting and then hopping on calls. Because when you hop on calls with people, it makes that relationship way, way stronger. So they know who you are, you know who they are, and then you could just talk and learn as you network with them. But you hop on these calls, learn as much as possible. And the mistake that I did was I just connected with a whole bunch of people, and I wouldn't even send an invitation, a personalized invitation. And I wouldn't even, when we did finally connect, I wouldn't even send a message. So we're basically complete strangers who I just connected with, which is not what you want to do. What you want to do is you want to send them a personal invite. As soon as you guys connect, send them a little message. Hopefully they'll respond a time. You guys organize a time to meet, preferably over Zoom. Over Zoom, I found is best to making that connection. It's also pretty helpful if you can get their phone number. That's how you know it's legit. It's a legit connection. Because all the people I have their phone numbers, it's a legit connection. I mean, there are internship opportunities in the things that I'm saying right now. I'm telling you, this is how I've been able to. This is how I met Coach V. This is how I met Mo. This is how I met David Tafuna. And all of these are internship and working opportunities. I'm telling you that if you're not doing this, it's because you don't know these things, and can't fault you for that. But if you're listening to this, now you do. So now you are accountable for doing them. So over these next couple days, you got to connect with people and build your network, especially if you're in college. Please, if you are a young person listening to this, if you are anywhere under, 30, please work for someone. If it has to be for free, do it for free, but learn. Learning is so important. I was listening to a podcast by Alex Ramosi. He said some people just jump straight into the money. So when I graduate, there's two options. You can either jump straight into the money, grab, let's say, a $60K salary, do pretty well for yourself. Not too bad. And then you'll be making some money along the way. But at that point, you stop progressing, you stop learning. Or you could jump into a job. Let's say it's unpaid. Let's say it's $30K, super cheap. But you're the underdog. You are the lowest person on the chopping block. So everyone around you is super successful. They already know what they're doing. So you're surrounded by a whole bunch of successful people that you can learn from. Whereas this other dude who went to a $60K job, or not even $60K, let's put it like $200K. He's at a $200K job surrounded by, he's the top dog over there and he's teaching everyone. Well, that's an analogy I learned from Alex Hormozy. Oh. I was going to talk about something else. That's how to network, meeting with these people, making those calls. Let's see. I think that's it. I do kind of want to talk more though. What else could I talk about? Could I talk about reshaping reality? Yeah, let's talk about that. So Alex Hormozy talks a lot about the most value you gain from hanging around successful, rich people and some super smart people is that they reshape your reality. And I was like, what does that fool mean by that? Reshaping realities. And I thought about it I heard it a long time. But I finally realized what that meant. And here's what it means. It's breaking false beliefs. Or it's breaking your limiting beliefs. And let me give you an example of that. When over this past summer, I went to work with my uncle in Seattle. He's a concrete contractor. And at the time, I thought $100, $200. That's a bit of money right there. That's a good amount of cash. But when I went to a job of his, and per job it was at least on average, so some were low, some were higher, but on average it was about $10K, easy. It was $10,000 for a job, and my mind was blown. I was like, how in the world is this guy making this much money? And don't get me wrong, my uncle's... Now I'm going to say how it is. If my uncle can do it, anyone else listening to this can definitely do it. Because he was not educated like how I hope we are. Not to put him down or nothing, because he's a good dude. But if he can do it, we can do it, guys. Like, I can definitely do it. And by do it, I mean succeed. I'm going to go out there and, man, I'm going to surprise the world, for real. But what was crazy to me was, how is this guy doing that? I was like, what in the world? Whenever we went to restaurants and stuff, pulling out $100, he only had $100 bills on him, cash. And he would carry like 20 bills. So he would always carry like $2,000 on him. Like all the time. And that would be like chump change for him. I was like, bro, this guy's insane. And the thing is, his operations was literally just him going to people's houses, giving them quotes. And then he would hire some Mexican dudes who were part of a crew. Like, I think they were actually all Mexican. And then they would just do the work for him. I was like, what in the world? He doesn't do any marketing. He doesn't do any super fancy logo stuff. He for real just does the basics. And he could definitely grow if he wants to. But he really does not have to. He works when he wants to. He has a pretty good life. He's helping the Mexican crew that he has, giving them jobs, and he's feeding his family. And from my conversations with him, he's fine. He's complacent with where he's at. He doesn't really want to progress further, and if that's what he wants to do, that's fine. But I was starstruck learning, because even with that, I think I was only there for a couple weeks, no more than a month or two. But in that time, I learned everything I could about the contracting business and what he was doing, how he was getting his leads, what goes into a job, how he gets a client, how he delivers on the client, how he follows up with them. And I saw everything he was doing right and everything he was doing completely wrong. And at this time, I mean, I hope I could just, when I learn everything I can about marketing and operations and Hubspot and all this stuff, I hope I can go into businesses like his, like my other Uncle Vita, who owns a mattress store, or like my sister-in-law, her name is Nina, her photography business, like help her out with that. Man, these are all things I hope to do. But the only way I do these things is if I don't pursue them right now, hold off on that opportunity and learn as much as possible through unpaid internships, through experience, through working. And that's what I'm going to do. A little update on what I'm doing with Coach V right now. I guess I already gave that update, so I don't need to. I should probably end this and get some sleep. It is 4 a.m. right now. But I really wanted to record this episode because I wasn't able to record anything before or the past couple days. I was hoping to make this a daily thing, but I just honestly don't think I'll have the time for that. But we'll see. I'm happy I was able to get a second podcast episode in. Stay tuned. I will talk more about my progress. And what else should I do? I just got an iPad, by the way. My boy Johnny, he's a upperclassman over here in the house. He hooked me up. I'll talk more about how I'm using the iPad to take notes and stuff. In terms of health, physical health, today, not my best day for sure. I haven't weighed myself in a while because my scale broke. But I think I might have gotten my 12,000 steps actually. One of my goals is to get 12,000 steps. And another one is to hit 16% body fat. Because at 16% body fat, that's when your abs show. And I've never had abs. Never had visible abs. And that would be an amazing thing to do. So trying to hit the gym more often. I was able to go today. I will definitely go tomorrow. Struggling with a CS project. Mental health. In terms of mental health, I'll say it's pretty good right now. Usually when I have off days like today, when I say off days, it's because I just ate junk in the dining hall. I can't wait till I don't have access to the dining hall so I won't be eating this trash. I shouldn't be down on myself, but I mean, eating pizza and cereal and stuff is not something that I should be doing. Trying to hit 16% body fat. And I also should do more cardio if I want to hit the goals. But here's the goals. Every day, 12,000 steps. Best form of cardio for weight loss and longevity, hands down, walking. Number 2, 16% body fat. That lines up with rugby. I'm trying to get into boxing, walking, and my diet, super important. Number 3, I want to hit 100,000 in sales for Coach V, which is so easy. I will do that for him, and I'm trying to hit that number in, we'll give it 2 months. 3 months. We'll give it 3 months. I'm hitting 100,000 in sales, empowerment to success. Let's freaking go. That's what I'm doing for him. And I also want to get 20% of those sales, so that would be 20K in 3 months in the bag. Let's freaking go. So in 3 months, I will give an update on how's that going. And I'm trying to get paid for the website. I'm not sure what a fair price would be. I honestly think like $5,000 for the website is super reasonable. 5,000 for the website, yeah, that's super reasonable. Because I haven't asked for a dime yet, and we're gonna have to make that a tough conversation. I also have to tell him about my other time commitments. Mental health going well. Health, we're getting there. We're losing weight, which is good. We're on the downward trend. Productivity as a student, pretty well. Honestly, I'm really proud of myself, the way I've been able to handle all this responsibility and assignments and all these things so far. Actually, really proud of myself. I definitely need to have more structure in these episodes. Just a reminder, this is my second episode. So in the future, there's going to be way more structure to it and way more professionality. But as of right now, I don't got the funds for that, so bear with me. And I think that's it. I don't really want to go through this and edit it, so I'm going to just post it raw. I doubt anyone is going to listen to this all the way through, so it's just my thing. But yeah, I think that's it for today. I'm going to get some sleep. It is 4:03 in the a.m. And my outro is Tau Toxio.